There's this laundromat. On certain days, the air was filled with the scent of detergent and fabric softener. It didn't matter how hard your day was or what life threw at you, that fresh smell. Man, that fresh smell made everything better. Well, my old man would tell me I was too young to remember a time before we had an energy efficient washer and dryer, a time when he worked cold nights in Con Edison manholes. My mother worked her way through dental school. On the weekends, they would bundle us up, my sister and we'd head to the laundromat. Well, it was a gathering spot for everyone in the community, a village of people that looked out for me, made sure I stayed out of trouble, didn't follow the wrong crowd. Under yellow halogen lights and rolls of quarters, I felt protected from what awaited me outside. You see, I was quiet then. I was a J Dilla and Slum Village kid. Not enough New York to claim Brooklyn, not enough Florida to be Floridian. Well, that put me in the middle of nowhere. So I listened. I listened more than I spoke because I feared the one thing we all secretly feared: words. A powerful tool when it really spoke from here. An even more powerful tool when it truly spoke from here. The truth is, I grew up in an era when young people weren't empowered to speak. Only speak when you're spoken to. Young children should be seen and not heard. Somehow, speaking up meant you were too grown, you were too bold, you were too fast. But I found masculinity in words. I found courage and love of self in words. First, in hip hop. In that laundromat watching the spin cycle, I'd play that cassette tape over and over again until I memorized every single word. Hey yo, I met this girl when I was 10 years old, and what I love most, she had so much soul. She was old school when I was just a shorty, never knew throughout my life she would be there for me on the regular. Those lyrics were poetry. They spoke directly to me. And just like that, my love affair for words began. My next encounter came in the most intimidating place: the library. I got my first library card and immediately felt overwhelmed. It was wall to wall words. I didn't know where to start until I opened that very first page. Radio Raheem walks the streets of Bed-Stuy with the aid of his trusty boombox. Five-finger ring beat slapping sense into you suckers. I mean, how cool was that? The artistry only imitated the the imagery of the words. But there's always that moment when words and reality collide. A moment that made me cannonball into conversation. And that moment was getting to hear the great Maya Angelou deliver her 1993 inauguration speech. Here, on the pulse of this new day, you may find the grace to look up and out and into your sister's eyes and into your brother's face, your country, and say simply with hope, good morning. Well, first, I had to believe in myself. First, I had to believe that my own words had power. Do you have any idea how amazing you are? You are amazing beyond measure. There is nothing you can't do once you put your mind to it. I would go back in time and tell my younger self. But then I found my voice in the repetition of hip hop, in the creativity of art within comics, and in the courage of Mother Angelou's poem. I discovered I had the power to rewrite my own narrative. I had the power to inspire and uplift. So I set out to show young people what took me years to learn, providing them a safe space to explore words like I had in that laundromat, putting them in a position to make mistakes so they can learn from them, and filling each of them with self-confidence so they can go back to their communities and uplift them. For 12 weeks, I helped shape a new behavior for 12 amazing students, teaching them the value of face-to-face communication, the importance of eye contact, and showing them just how powerful words could be when used correctly. Well, Mike is one of our youngest students. He reminds me of myself when I was in 6th grade. I told him I was about your age when I participated in my first oration contest. I reminded him of how nervous I was in that moment, the tightness in my throat, the sweatiness in my palms, kind of like right now. I pulled him aside and told him, "Do you have any idea how amazing you are? You are amazing beyond measure. There is nothing you can't do once you put your mind to it. Channel your fear into your stories, inspire others." In a world when people are using their words so carelessly, we're tearing each other down instead of building each other up. Well, tonight we change that. My fellow presenters and I put value and purpose back into words. We all have the power to put value back into words. Whether we're on stage under the bright lights or at the dinner table with our kids, our young people deserve a world where the quietest kid in the back can feel empowered to change the world one word at a time.